Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Good afternoon, veterans, students, parents, teachers, and staff. I'd like to start today by thanking all of those among us who, despite the risk and sacrifice, raised their hand to serve and defend this beautiful country. Our veterans, active duty, service members, guardsmen, and reservists, your service has helped keep our country and its citizens safe and free. Let's also take a moment to acknowledge those families of service members and veterans who helped shoulder the weight of the war and the burdens of their sacrifice. To the mothers, fathers, spouses, and children of our military men and women, thank you for your love and support and resilience. As the backbones of this nation, you must not be forgotten as well. Today, people throughout the country will gather to remember and honor and pay homage and gratitude to those who have served our country. Our gathering is just one small spark in the flame of pride that burns across the nation today and every day. It's not a lot, but it's one small way we can honor those who have made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can live in freedom. The service members we honor today come from all walks of life, but they share several fundamental qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication, duty, and integrity. All the qualities needed to serve a cause larger than oneself. Many of them didn't ask to leave their homes to fight on distant battlefields. Many didn't even volunteer. They didn't go to war because they loved fighting. They were called to be a part of something bigger than themselves. They were ordinary people who responded in extraordinary ways in extreme times. They rose to the nation's call because they wanted to protect the nation, which has given so much to us. Once again, let's give a round of applause for our veterans and families. At this time, Josie, I'm going to have you come up here, and we are going to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly
At this time, I want to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Mike Bier. Mike Bier served in the Marines from 1966, 1968. All right, he was a member of the troops that went to Vietnam in October of 67 to November of 68, if my notes are correct. He was a field radio operator with the Marine outfits. He studied marine biology after leaving the Corps and worked on several environmental projects. He decided to change careers and went to work on computers with IBM and a few other companies. He is, and I'm jealous of this, he's retired in 2016. And right now, he volunteers at the Cincinnati Zoo, and interesting enough, he works with elephants, among other duties. So at this time, please welcome Mr. Mike Bier.
So first I want to say to the young people, you are sitting amongst some true heroes. Anyone that served, whether you're in combat or not, my hat's off. But today is a very special day. It's the 248th birthday of the Marine Corps. And you know, when I was in, "Oorah" was not a thing. And the first time I heard somebody yell "Oorah," I thought they sat on something sharp. I don't know where that came from. So I was asked, how long should I speak? They said 5 to 10 minutes. Please don't go too long. I said, well, I wasn't a sailor, so there's no damage there. So just a brief synopsis again. So I went in 3rd of March, 1966. I did not know what I was getting into. Marine Corps boot camp was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. In many ways, worse than Vietnam. Because in Vietnam, at least they gave me a loaded weapon. I was stationed at Camp Lejeune for a while, so I drank all the bad water, so I'm probably half insane from that. But I went to Vietnam on the 1st of October, 1967. And again, as a field radio operator, what that means, I went out with what they call a grunt unit, went out with the infantry, and our role back then was basically to be bait. What a lot of people don't realize, in Vietnam, 88% of all the engagements with the enemy were initiated by the enemy. These were not stupid people we fought, they were tough little suckers. We had superior firepower, we had jets and things of that nature, so they would only engage when they wanted to. So we would send out a company. If a company didn't get hit, we'd send out 2 platoons. If 2 platoons didn't get hit, we'd send out 1 platoon until we got to the proper number of people where they felt safe to attack. So it was an experience you can't, my daughter was my cohort I got to go on the honor flight. And I was talking to another guy at the Vietnam Wall, and she said, I've never heard these stories before. And I said, really, no offense, but it's none of your business. To me, they're the 2 hardest things. People say, what was the hardest thing there? Well, okay, as you can tell, I'm not a very large guy. I'm not like Mr. Moore. So in typical service fashion, I got to carry the radio and the extra battery and all that stuff. So I weighed about 120 pounds, and I had about 60 pounds of gear on me. Then they would pick a guy who was 6'3", 250 pounds to carry the little bitty grenade launcher. The irony of the service. But the toughest thing for me then, it was the heat, the insects, and you never had enough water to drink. So in middle or late December and going into January, in 1968, things have really died down. Any of the non-vets remember this. We kept thinking, maybe we're actually winning this thing. Then in the 30th of January, 68, the Tet Offensive broke out, which is when the entire company had an uprising. The whole country blew up. So I was stationed at a place called Phu Bai, which was pretty far up north. And the old capital of Vietnam at the time was Hue City. So we were in 5th Marines. We were the first outfit into Hue City. And it was literally house-to-house fighting. We had not been prepared for any of this. And the saddest thing was, at the end of the Tet Offensive, we actually, numerically, we kind of won the war. But the American people were so shocked by what had gone on, they really turned a lot of the American public against us. But we kept going. Well, you mentioned elephants, so I've got a treat for Mr. Moore here. One of the hardest things to me, I'll pass this to one of the kids when I come up and play with it. You see all these really neat things today. You see Kevlar helmets and integrated communication stuff. And it's all like, this is the stuff we wore. The old steel pot. And you can imagine running around in 110, 120 degrees of this. Anybody want to come up and pass it around? You on the corner? Come on up. Yeah, come on up. I'll hand it down to you. So I liberated this helmet, just so you know. So without taking too much, again, I don't like talking shoot 'em up, bang bang war stuff. You can imagine it was pretty brutal. When we were up far north, now there was some of you kids may have heard of a thing called the Ho Chi Minh Trail. I know the vets do. It was a trail that went from North Vietnam down through Laos, Cambodia, and the North Vietnamese would come and infiltrate the country using the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Well, on a couple of operations, we got far enough into Nam that we actually wound up on parts of the Ho Chi Minh Trail. They had actually, like I said, these were clever people we fought. They actually wove trees together at the top, so when a spotter plane would go over it, they couldn't see the trail. So one of the times we're slogging along there, now they used jeeps, trucks, bicycles, and they even used elephants to bring armament down on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. So one of these operations, we came across a whole bunch of piles of this stuff. We're kind of going, what in the world is that? Well, you can imagine what it is. It's elephant doo-doo. Now, it has 30 coats of polyurethane on it, and I use this as a handout at the zoo. And what I do a lot of times when we do on the grounds education and stuff, I'll ask a young person, what do you want to be when you get older? And they go, I want to be a zookeeper. I say, okay. Very often, that's the look I get. Mr. Moore?
Okay.
I'll give an hoorah to Mr. Moore. There you go. Anybody in the band? No? Here we go. Ready? I need another volunteer who'll come pass this around, okay? Somebody? Oh, come on. So I wanted to have a little fun, not just to shoot 'em up stuff. So I've kind of unbuckled my own presentation here. So I want to close out with whether or not you served in a combat unit. The important thing for any veteran is that you served. You didn't pick what you did. You did what they told you to do. I was one of the unlucky ones in some ways, but I'm also one of the lucky ones because I got to come home. Thanks very much, everybody.
Mrs. McCoy, I'm going to have you collect the elephant lump. Yeah. All right, students, please settle down. Thank you, Mr. Bier. I think I've been in a few Veterans Day assemblies. This is the first time someone's brought us a
show and tell.
Yeah, a little show and tell, a little elephant dung in my hands. It's all good. Yeah. At this time, we want to recognize the veterans that were able to make it for our assembly today. And honestly, we're going to recognize even the ones who couldn't make it because there's a representative, it's a student representative that's here. And again, your sacrifices don't go unnoticed. So at this time, we want to recognize our veterans, family representatives of our veterans. So when you hear your name, please feel free to stand. I do know that some people have larger crowds, and I know that the cheers may get a little bit rambunctious, especially when we hear certain people from our staff. But please, let's keep it under wraps. All right, our first veteran we're going to recognize, if you don't mind, just please standing in your seat. Then you can sit down, is Mr. Wayne Andrews. Okay. Steve Borger. Diane Broadnax. Walter Gordon. Archie Clay. Right up front. Bob Colwell. Also, too, if I mispronounce your name, please excuse me for that ahead of time. Gary Craig. Joe Lindsay. Todd Abel. Rob Heller. Scott Fout. John Purcell. Mark Graber. Thomas Hauser. Joseph Klein. All right, this is my first test. Rhea McKenna? Okay, that's right. Jack Hines. All right, here we go. Richard Oberjahan. Close. Sandy Hostler. Eddie Hunt. Amos Hunt. Jay Hunt. Pete Redmond. Dwayne Thomas. Raymond Tucker. Vincent Lanza. Daniel Warren. Bill Detter. Christopher Marcus. Monique Mills. Fan favorite, obviously. All right, Steve Mitchell. John Musselman. Larry Mussick. Jeff Peters. Troy Spratt. Richard Kane. Paul Schrank. Timothy Chow. Allison Tully. John Shearer. John Garachi. Lester Sledge. Jamie White. Steve Moorhead. Charles White. Carrie Ziegler. Joseph Ziegler. Maxine Steeling. Richard Huck. Don Palmer. James Bodmer. Bob King. One of my personal favorites, Mr. David Meadows. Another one of my favorites, Officer John Pearson. You see what I meant when I was talking about, yeah, okay. Roger Pearson. Mr. F. Thomas Schneider. Ben Gertson. Mr. Chris Heather, one of our board members. I also want to recognize Mr. Daryl Yater, who's our superintendent. And our keynote speaker, Mr. Mike Bier. All right. So, as the proud principal of Colerain Middle School, one of the things I was thinking about as I look at the number of students that have family members here is that we have a lot of similarities. Some of our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters have served in the military. And sometimes we always focus on what our differences are instead of realizing we have a lot of similarities. The same pains and struggles, same conversations, the long distance calls, those types of things happened in each one of our households at some point. And so again, this is one of those times that should bring us together closer as a Colerain family and realize, again, we are more similar than we are different. Veterans, I want to thank you for coming. We're not done. Don't get up going. We're not done. Students, I want to thank you for applauding and for appreciating our veterans. Right now, we're going to have a performance from Honor and Glory from our orchestra. Wait, I'm sorry. Miss Case, hold on. I apologize. We have two guests that I did not honor, and I apologize for that. The first one is Mr., I believe it's Charles Hudson. And then the second one, excuse me, I'm trying to read handwriting. It's Jeff, is it Klett? Clyde, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mrs. Case. this time, I'd like to bring up Durga and Josie, and they will read The Noble and the Brave.
The Noble and the Brave, a Veterans Day tribute.
When America had an urgent need, these brave ones raised a hand. No hesitation held them back. They were proud to take a stand.
They left their friends and family. They gave up normal life to serve their country and their God. They plowed into the strife. They fought for freedom and for peace on strange and foreign shores. Some lost new friends, some lost their lives in long and brutal wars.
Other veterans answered a call to support the ones who fought. Their country had requirements for the essential skills they brought.
Other veterans answered a call to support the ones who fought. We salute every one of them, the noble and the brave, the ones still with us here today and those who rest in a grave.
So here's to our country's heroes. They're a cut above the rest. Let's give the honor that is due to our country's very best. By Joanna F.
Thank you, ladies. I do want to give a special shout out to Mrs. Grimm, who year after year organizes this event. Can we please clap for Mrs. Case and our CMS orchestra? And then can we give another clap and shout out to Mrs. Smith and our CMS choir? All right, and then also Mrs. McCoy, our audiovisual person over here. Yes. Yes. All right. So at this time, this concludes our ceremony, and we're going to kind of exit in a very different way. Students who are with a veteran, I'm going to have you give hugs and kisses goodbye right now and dismiss you back to class. Aww. Aww. Thank you for coming. We definitely appreciate your attendance.